How you doing, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Nestor, and today we're going to be going over the cars that every young person should want to buy, especially if they're in high school or college or getting out of college and going into the workforce, and they want something reliable and cheap for them to drive for a long time. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and leave me any comments and let me know what other questions you guys have. I'll be happy to answer them. This is coming from a guy that has owned auto repair shops for a long time, and I am a professional AAC certified mechanic, so I know what I'm talking about. All right, so the cars that I recommend that young people buy are gonna be based on a few criteria. The first one is gonna be maintenance costs. The second is gonna be resale value. And the third one is gonna be reliability. Okay, and reliability and maintenance costs kind of go hand in hand, because if the car is cheap to maintain, it means that it's actually a pretty good car and it doesn't cost much money to repair because it doesn't break down very much. So you want to have a car that is both reliable and cheap to repair. And these two cars I'm going to tell you guys right now are going to be those cars. The first one is going to be a Honda Fit, Honda Accord. And the second one is going to be a Toyota Camry or Corolla. Now, a lot of us already know this, but I want to give you guys the reasons why. The main reason is because they're cheap to repair. It's about $450 a year for basic maintenance. It can go up to $800 depending on the mileage, but generally between $450 to $800 a year for maintenance costs is going to be pretty normal. And this is going to include oil changes, going to include brakes, air filters, cabin filters, belts, and just basic stuff. So if you have one of these cars, that's around how much you're going to be spending. And I see this often. Every single one of my customers, I keep a log on how much they're spending per year, and all of them are spending right around that much money. Now, when you're getting into other cars like Fords and Chevys, those can go up a little bit higher in repairs, around $600 a year for maintenance and repairs, but they break down a little bit more often, and the resale value isn't there. With Toyotas and Hondas, the resale value is always there, so you can always resell the car whenever you're done with it, and you get pretty much all your money back. So long as you keep it clean and you make sure that it's maintained and make sure you keep all the service records for it, okay? So those are the two reasons why I like Hondas and Toyotas. Now I'm gonna tell you guys how to make sure you get all the money back out of it when you're ready to sell it. The first way is, like I said, keep it clean and make sure that it's always maintained and you keep the service records. That is very important for these Toyotas and Hondas because people are gonna keep driving these cars for a long time. You want to make sure that you keep all the service records and keep everything on track and make sure everything's together so that whenever you sell the car, you can show that you have maintained the car per its life. So that is a very good selling point, and it adds a lot of value to the car whenever you do sell it, because people like to know that you maintain the car and it's actually been, serviced professionally. So even if you do service it yourself, you want to maintain those receipts. If you do your own oil changes and air filters, keep the receipts that you get from the auto parts stores, because even that is enough to show that you have maintained the car. Try to take pictures as much as you can and that type of stuff, but just having those receipts is a big selling point whenever you go to sell the car. Again, keep it clean and you should be good to go. As long as the paint is decent, as long as you get the car washed every 1 or 2 weeks, the paint should be okay. The second thing is that you want to buy these cars with under 130,000 miles. If you buy a car like a Honda or Toyota under 130,000 miles, you're going to be pretty sure that the car is going to last you, and the maintenance repairs are going to be right around $450 to $800. Okay, because cars that have over 130,000 miles tend to need a little bit more repair, and they start breaking down a little bit more. Luckily for Hondas and Toyotas, the repairs that you need to do on these cars after 130 are pretty common and they're pretty cheap. Hondas need they'll need basic maintenance like serpentine belts and then tie-in belts and stuff like that, but not really much after that. The biggest expense is going to be right around 130 when you have to adjust the valves, but generally it's pretty cheap. Even if you have to spend the money for the valve adjustment, it still will keep you under $800 for the year. Okay, and that happens right around between 120 and 150 is when you have to do that valve adjustment. For Toyotas, same thing. You have to do basic repairs on it, but sometimes the radiators crack on the Corollas and the Camrys. Very basic stuff, and the motor mounts sometimes go out on Toyotas. Everything is under $800, so don't worry about it. So long as you save up enough money per the year, you should be okay on repairs. So every month you should be putting away about $38 to $45 into your maintenance bank account or your savings account, so that you have the money whenever you do need to do a repair. Luckily, those cars don't have any major problems. Some of the Hondas do, especially for like a Honda Civic, like a '08 Honda Civic. If it's manual, those transmission, the clutches on those always go bad, but generally they're pretty good. A Honda Civic '08 though, they have a lot more problems, like, you know, more issues, but still it's under $800. So every problem that you're gonna have is gonna be under $800 for sure, like way under 800. So I'm giving you the 800 number because that's on the high end, but generally cars between under 130,000 miles, you'll be looking between $450 and $800 a year per maintenance. And that's on the high end, guys. That's if you're driving 10 to 20K miles, 10,000 to 20,000 miles a year. And that's on the high end. That's like in California type of driving. If you're driving it like 5,000 miles a year, you're gonna be looking at $200-300 in maintenance costs, if that. So don't worry about you know, having to spend a lot of money on repairs, and that's why I'm telling you guys about these cars. But after 130 is when you start having a little bit more problems, and you start being into the shop maybe 3 or 4 times a year. And I want to keep you guys in here, bring you guys into the shop every 2 to 3, about 2 times, 3 times a year, you know, for basic stuff. I don't want to see you guys here a lot more than that. If I see my customers more than 3 times a year, I start questioning whether or not it's time for them to get a new car, because I don't like seeing my customers here more than 3 times, because I know they're going to be spending a lot more money, and they're going to be more upset with the car because they're in the shop more often. Now, so a good resale value for the car is always going to be right at the same price, because Toyotas hold their value really well, Hondas do as well. So as long as you keep them clean and you maintain them really well, you can sell a car like a Honda Civic or a Honda Accord with 200,000 miles on it, and you could get pretty good money for it. Especially right now in our market that we're in right now, with the resale market of used cars, it's crazy right now. People are selling their cars for 2 times the value of their normal, you know, sell, because there's nobody else that are, like, a lot of dealerships are not selling brand new cars because they don't have a lot of models in right now. So the used car market is really good right now. But in the future, I don't know how it's going to be, but I've always seen that these cars always hold their value, and they always sell pretty quickly, even though they have a lot of miles on them, because these cars are designed and known to go over 200,000 miles without major issues. So if you get a car under 130,000 miles, you should be okay. Okay, but Honda and Toyotas are the number ones. That's what you should look for first, and you should look to buy a car that is low miles, even if you have to pay a little bit more. And this is the one trick that you want to do, is like, if the car, let's just say, right, you find a Honda or a Toyota with 130,000 miles. The guy wants, let's keep it simple, he wants 10K for it, right? You find another Honda or Toyota over here, it has 100,000 miles, but the guy wants 13K for it. I recommend that you save up the extra 3K and you buy that car that's $13,000 but has 50,000 miles less. The reason why is because unless you're driving a lot, you're not going to be putting on that many miles in a year or 2. It's going to take you about 4 years, maybe 5, to put on 50K miles on those cars. So you're going to be, you know, you're going to put up a little bit more money up front, but you're going to have a better car overall, and you're not going to be spending that much money on repairs, you know, down the line. So it actually comes out to be a little bit cheaper if you just spend a little bit more money and then get the car with less miles, because even then, when you sell it, you'll get even more money back from it because it has less miles on it. Okay, I hope that made sense. But always look at the miles, and if it's a couple grand more and you have a car over here that has a lot less miles, like half the miles of this other car that's like a little bit cheaper, go with the car that has less miles, because it's that little extra cost in the beginning is going to offset all those headaches, all those repairs that you're going to have to do, and then the resale value is going to be there because it has less miles. Okay, so keep that in mind whenever you guys are buying a new car, especially if you're a student, or you know, you're not in a position to buy a brand new car. You just want something to get you through, you know, the year. Honda, Toyotas are always the best. They're hard to come by, especially right now, but when you do find a deal, pick it up, because I guarantee it's going to be okay for you. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to donate to the channel, go to the PayPal link in the description below and donate whatever value you find from this video. I hope you donate. If you guys want to pick up a shirt at automechanicclub.com, you're more than welcome to. A couple bucks also helps there. So thank you so much for that. Hit the like button if nothing else, and just leave me a comment. Let me know that this video helped you, because it helps engagement and it gets the video out to more people. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. It's running? in here.
Okay.
Clear, beautiful. They're a little round. And then move the little square.
Toe time!
Let me see if I can go ahead, do it again. Just fuck around, move around.
It's toe time! Yeah, guys, today I'm talking about this ratchet. Yeah, see this guy?
I think that. Again, just fuck around, move around.
It's toe time! Toe time!